In the lab, it's usually more important to know how many molecules or atoms of a material we have than its mass in grams. So if we needed, for example, 6 moles of magnesium to use in a lab experiment, we'd have to weigh that out, and we'd need to know how many grams of magnesium we need. So what we have to do here is convert 6 moles of magnesium into a mass in grams. So here are the steps. To begin with, we're going to write what's given, which was 6 moles of magnesium. So I'll write that as 6 moles, and I'll use the symbol Mg. In step 2, we're going to continue by writing the skeleton of this equation, knowing that I'm going to multiply by a conversion factor, and I know that I'm going to need final units in the end as grams of magnesium. Now we can plug in our conversion factor, which from now on we're going to call the molar mass, because it really relates the number of moles to the mass of the material. Now the trick is that we need to put moles of magnesium on the bottom, and the reason is we want to have that moles of magnesium unit cancel with the moles of magnesium units that we're starting with. Since we want to end up with units of grams of magnesium, I'm going to put that on the top of the fraction. At this point, I can add my numbers because I know that it's 1 mole of magnesium is equivalent to 24.3 grams of magnesium. My calculator tells me that that gives me 145.8 grams of magnesium. I arrived at that by multiplying the 6, which is on top, dividing by 1, which doesn't affect anything, multiplied by 24.3, and divided by just 1, which doesn't affect anything. So ultimately it's multiplying 6 times 24.3, and I get my final answer. If the 24.3 had been in the bottom on the denominator, I would have been dividing that number. Let's try a conversion going the other way. Let's say we have 40 grams of magnesium to start. So following step 1, I'm going to start with 40 grams of magnesium. Then I'm going to add my skeleton, which includes the multiplication sign, the division sign for my molar mass, equals, and then finally the units that I want to end up with, which should be moles of magnesium. Notice that this time I'm going to put the 24.3 grams of magnesium on the bottom, or the denominator, so as to cancel with the grams of magnesium that we started with. On top, I'm going to put my 1 mole of magnesium, since that is the unit that I hope to end with. My calculator tells me the answer is 1.65. I already know it's moles of magnesium, and in this case I multiplied the 40 times the 1 for the 1 mole, because that's on top, and then divided by 24.3 because that's in the denominator. So ultimately 40 divided by 24.3, and that gives me 1.65 moles of magnesium. And that is how you do it.